what we're looking at worldwide is global apartheid. A global apartheid not based on race or religion, but on whether you are complying with fascism or whether you're not. And Israel is leading the way. Some of the things that are going on there are just mind-blowing when you think how they mirror what happened in Nazi Germany and the run-up to all that. And that's not me making that connection alone. That's many, many Israelis. And you mentioned the activist Shai Danon. You can see the interview with him I did on the website. And he's making that connection. And a lot of people are. And so why would an Israeli government be acting in ways that are being compared by many of their own people with Nazi Germany, of all things? And that's where the Sabbatean connection provides the answers. I've done a video, which I guess we can put with this as well, about Sabbateanism and what became known as Sabbatean Frankism. But I'll just do the basics here. Sabbateanism comes from a guy called Sabbatai Zevi, who claimed to be the Jewish Messiah in the 1600s. And in the following century, the Sabbatean cult was taken further on and even deeper into, well, evil, because it's a death cult, by a man called Jacob Frank, who was very much connected with Mayer Amschel Rothschild, who started the Rothschild dynasty. Because the Rothschilds are not Jewish, they are Sabbatean. And what's the difference? Sabbateanism is an inversion of Judaism, and in fact is an inversion of everything it seeks to infiltrate. And so if in the Judaism calendar there is a fasting day, then in Sabbateanism it will be a feast day. Everything is literally inverted. And they developed a technique. They started with infiltrating Islam in this way during the Ottoman Empire, but then moved into the Roman Catholic Church and many other places and religions and cultures. What they do is they pose as followers and protectors of that culture, that targeted culture or targeted religion. And everyone else who's not part of Sabbateanism, they think that the people, as they manipulate themselves into power everywhere they go, that these people in power that are ruling them are actually one of them and basically believe what they do, like Judaism or Islam or whatever. But they don't. Sabbateans infiltrate by posing as the culture or religion that they are infiltrating, but they work, once they've secured the positions of power, to a very, very different agenda. So it explains the cement and the connections between events and groupings that on the surface, those connections make no sense. And we're talking about one. Why would the government of Israel be treating its people in ways that are being compared to Nazi Germany? Well, how about this one? The Sabbateans were the force behind the Nazis. They were the force behind the Russian Revolution. And so when you realize that, then the techniques of oppression that were used against the Jews in Germany start to make sense in relation to the same technique starting to be used against the Jews in Israel. Because actually the same Sabbatean death cult is involved with both. And this is the thing that Jewish people need to realize, and more are, is this Sabbatean cult hates Jewish people. Or it will hide behind them so it can accuse and dub anyone that's exposing them as being anti-Semitic because, oh, them, well, we're Jewish. No, you're not. You're members of a death cult. And so the Saudi royal family, who's supposed to oppose Israel, are Sabbateans. I go into all this in the books. The Roman Church is run by Sabbateans. And so what you have is this unity between apparently different groups of the same agenda. So you have the Israeli government, Sabbatean government, imposing its tyranny upon the people of Israel and trying to force the vaccine on them, the fake vaccine. And then you have the Saudis, the Saudi royal family, who've come out this week and said no one can go on the pilgrimage to Mecca unless they're vaccinated. Then you have Pope Francis, Sabbatean frontman, who is pushing the vaccine, indeed pushing the whole agenda of the cult. And so it all starts to make sense because you've got a unifying force that's behind all this. And whether Jewish people in large numbers have realized the existence of this Sabbatean cult, and some certainly have. My sources are almost entirely Jewish on this over the years. They are starting to see the agenda of the cult, which is these horrific impositions that are going on in Israel, and you can hear about some of them in the Shai Danon interview. But one of the things he mentioned to me was that chairs are appearing on beaches which say vaccinated people only. And why this is important, not just Jewish people in Israel, but everyone around the world, is that what is happening there, and you know, no surprise that it's front running this, given the background, but what's happening there is meant to happen everywhere. And anyone that says, and the British government has said this, some ministers have said this, oh no, we're not going into vaccine passport. Yes, you bloody are, because it's the plan for the whole frickin' world. And you know it, you bloody liars.
אם אהבתם את הסרטון הזה, אתם מוזמנים להצטרף אלינו באתר Nowhere, מקום לדעת, בו אנו משתפים איתכם את הסרטונים שיוטיוב, פייסבוק וטוויטר מנסים לצנזר. הצטרפו אלינו בטלגרם ותמכו בנו בפטריון, כדי שנוכל להמשיך ולחזק את הערוץ ולשתף את האמת על הבריאות והעתיד של כולנו.